So, hi, welcome to Beyond the Blueprint. My name is Jennifer Hightower, and this is the show where we talk strategy, stories, and solutions for building better businesses and bolder lives. I'm your host, Jennifer Hightower, and owner and founder of Hightower Edge Marketing, where I help businesses align their business strategies with current trends and scale to new levels. So, today we are having we couldn't have a more timely conversation. Today, joining me today is Rachel Durant. She's the VP of Sales, Marketing, and Design for Three Pillar Homes, a leader in the custom home building space. Rachel, welcome to the podcast and thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks
Please
for having
introduce
me.
yourself and tell us about your company.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Jennifer. Again, my name is Rachel Durant. I work for a custom home builder. We're based out of Central Ohio. So Columbus is our market. The company, however, we dabble in commercial, we have multifamily, but I really kind of oversee the sales, marketing, design of the custom home sector. And that custom home, we do everything from patio homes to we're kind of moving into the townhome market to single family homes and even on, at all different sizes. So small, medium, and large. So that's
Awesome.
pretty much in a nutshell what I'm in charge for.
Perfect. Well, today we're going to dive into the challenges facing older homeowners who feel maybe stuck and why waiting to build could actually cost more in the long run. So if you or someone you know sitting on the fence about building, you're going to want to lean into this conversation today. So let's jump in. So Rachel, tell me, how have material costs evolved in the luxury home building in the last 5 to 10 years?
Well, massively changed. And really, we can just kind of take a look at just the past 5 years alone. COVID was just a monumental dividing part in our industry and several other industries as well, as everybody knows. But pre-COVID era, most markets would grow at a price point usually 2 to 5% every year. And that usually is just commonly driven by inflation or just customer demand for some higher finishes. Then 2020 hit, which was crazy, the COVID era. Prices spiked out of control. Builders saw anywhere from a 15 to 20% increase depending on the market. And that was due to a lot of global supply issues, some labor shortages. Labor alone, the cost rose 15 to 40% depending where you were in the country. Lumber tripled in cost.
Yeah.
And then even steel, copper, concrete, all of that doubled in costs. So just all of that compounded in 2020. Builders kind of found themselves trying to figure out how are they going to make affordable housing work? How are they going to please the people that they were in contract and kind of navigate it through? So fast forward to 2024, now 2025, pricing has stabilized, and some of those parts of the house, some of them never came back down, some of them came a little bit down, and some of them kind of just flatlined. But we are still over about 20 to 30% higher in a home cost just pre 2020. So we're about 20 to 30% higher if we compare 2019 pricing. And so if you go all the way back to 10 years ago, then we're averaging about 40 to 50% more than we were in 2015. So quite a bit of a
That's a
difference.
giant, yeah, that's
Mhm.
that's a steep incline. um, So then for clients who waited to build in recent years, what has that impact been on for their total project costs?
Yeah, unfortunately, the impact on the overall project cost was really not in their favor for waiting. It ultimately led to really just higher total expenses, even if their initial intent was try to avoid inflated prices. Interest rates, as we all know, has played a big role in affordability. For those who choose to wait are now limited in what they can either afford or what they get pre-approved for. But some things on a positive, not everything's doom and gloom, but some things on a positive note is that if those people who have waited now, um, the build times have improved and product availability has improved. So they can get more of what they're looking for. They're just going to be paying, 2025 pricing versus 2019 pricing.
Got it. I guess that's a little bit of good and some bad to that. So it's not, you're right, it's not all doom and gloom. So what trends are you seeing now with construction costs and how do you help clients navigate the timing for their builds?
Well, cost is stabilizing. So now is a good time. If people are having to move, there's some good positive things to look for. Our market is consistently about 2 to 4% increase in pricing every year. So again, stable. We're not seeing those huge spikes. When someone's looking to build, partnering with a builder who has a strong history with their subs and enough business to keep their partnerships going is always a good thing to look out for. Land scarcity, finding a builder who offers fixed pricing versus cost plus, which we can go into a little bit more detail, but they can lock in your pricing up front is always a good feature, and trying to price out, time your build with what you can afford and pre-pricing and doing your selections up front will guarantee a better possibility for you to stay within budget.
Perfect. That sounds great. What kind of biggest challenges are you finding in the luxury home builder market right now as you guys try to maintain or grow?
The state of economy and client confidence is probably our number one challenge. The financing variability over the past couple of years, we've really had become more knowledgeable on financing incentives and lending programs to educate our potential buyers. So that I would say just that overall client confidence is our biggest challenge. Some of the other challenges that we see come up is timing of inventory homes. So for us as a builder, we obviously have our pre-sold. So those are design, build from the ground up. But we also invest in inventory homes and trying to time the market of putting the accurate amount of inventory homes where you're not putting it too much of an investment in the ground and they're sitting, but then again, not missing the market and not have enough inventory homes to offer people relocating or needing to move up in your market. So the timing of inventory homes can definitely be a challenge.
And
Continuing to
just
man, I'm sorry.
sorry, I just wanted to just for a clarifying question. Can you explain what an inventory home is, just in case we have some listeners that don't follow?
Absolutely. So, an inventory home is a builder designed home. So, no client is attached to it yet. So, their team will design the floor plan, the design features, pick the lot, and start building the home.
Okay.
So, similar, they usually will compete a lot with resale because you can get into the home faster. But usually, that builder would have designed the house and put what their products that they were going to showcase in that
Hmm.
house. And you're buying that house as a new house. You just didn't design it from the ground up.
Okay. So I'm a little bit more old school. Maybe I remember it as a spec house.
Correct. Yes, you'll hear both terms, spec and
Okay.
inventory.
Perfect. Thanks for catching me up too.
Yes. Um, and some challenges as luxury builders may have is land scarcity and just making sure that they can stay competitive in the market with land position. You'll
Hmm.
see many people that are in different markets will share, and they all have different challenges with that. But just trying to position yourself and kind of foresee what you'll need in the upcoming years
Got it.
is always on the forefront of our minds.
Nice. Okay. Has your client demographic changed over the years?
Honestly, Jennifer, so much.
Okay.
In the past years, it was just more established older clientele. They've worked for many years. This may be their third or fourth home, or they're moving here for a big job, but usually just more established older clientele. We are seeing a much more younger buyer now. Younger buyers have established careers in tech, social
Yeah.
media influencers, high dual income professionals, and we're seeing a lot of generation wealth passed down from their families. So
Hmm.
younger buyers are kind of entering into more of the luxury market, and they're not always need bigger. They just want luxury features, even if it's in a smaller box per se.
Right. Right.
We're definitely seeing more transient buyers coming from different countries, different states, more people willing to relocate. I definitely see an increase in luxury lifestyle when it focuses on amenities.
Nice. Okay.
More and more people are just wanting their home to be a retreat.
Right.
For the ones that can afford a feature like this or two, it is amazing, but we'll put in golf simulators, obviously custom gyms, sauna, dog wash stations. We're seeing a big outdoor living push. So even in a market where I'm in, where there's four seasons, we're still seeing a large growth in outdoor living where people are investing in, big patios and fire pits and beautiful
Hmm.
landscape or pools. Or large sliding doors that allow the inside and the outside to kind of become one.
Right. That's got to be really exciting. Obviously, I'm here in Southern California, so we've been watching that and seeing that, and that's been part of our living all the time. But you're right, back in the Midwest, that hasn't always been part of the landscape for custom homes. It's been, you know, yeah, it's just been not as frequent. So I'm glad to hear that trend
Yeah.
has made it that way.
Couple more things on trends what I'm seeing with buyers. Structurally, I'm seeing more flex room options.
Mm-hmm.
People who want a room, they want a special room in the house dedicated for the way they live in it. So it might be an extra bedroom or an in-law suite. They may convert it to a playroom, an office, a second office, a
Mm-hmm.
pub room, a library. So we're seeing these multifunctional rooms where even when we're designing the plan, they'll say, call this a flex room because it's going to be this type of space when we first move in, and then it's going to migrate to something else. So
Got it.
that's been a big push. We're also seeing a lot more digitally influenced buyers. And
Mm-hmm.
there's just been a huge push with the amount of buyers that know all about you before they walk in your door. So they research heavily online. They're looking for better imaging, tour, interaction with your website. We, as a company, just enhanced doing on-demand tours where they can schedule a tour and it scans a picture of their ID, and they have to take a picture and confirm with an email, but they're able to go in and tour a home, an inventory home or spec home, if they're shopping, and be able to do that by registering on demand. So
Okay.
that's another big push because we're seeing some of these younger buyers wanting the freedom to tour when they can. And lastly, I would say the higher expectation and demand for red carpet service is there and growing. So, with social media and the influence of so many others and different companies and different experiences, people are now more open to sharing their experience, whether it's good or bad. So, people coming in a luxury market, they're looking for a luxury experience.
Right.
So, we have really honed in our team to go that extra mile, do something that is not expected to make the impact of working with us incredibly impactful that they'll want to share in
Mm-hmm.
a good, positive way.
That sounds exciting. That sounds really, really, really fun. Do you ever have it to help manage a client's dream versus their practical budget?
All the time. And there, I mean, actually, it can be a challenge just to try to make sure people are to get on the same page of, where do they want to spend? And that transparency and that trust needs to be established right up front.
Mm-hmm.
So having that open communication of like, hey, I can get you where you need to be, but I need to understand what your vision is. What are your have tos and what can I guide you on? So the couple things that we do personally at Three Pillar, we employ an in-house architectural designer who's going to draw up the house for the client. So a lot of that we're doing pre-pricing up front where there's we're putting all the structural features in, the size of the home on each floor, and we're configuring the budget. So when they're meeting with that architectural designer, they already have an idea of budget. So many times I'll have people come to me and they have met with a outside architect that has drawn this amazing, beautiful home, but they have no idea what that cost is. And then
Right.
they get their heart broken when they go to builder to builder to builder to try to price out this home of their dreams and realize it's not within reach. So having that in-house architectural designer and an initial budget to work off of, it keeps them in real live time of figuring out, I'm going to design this home. And if I want to know how much it is to expand my garage, I know in real life as we're
Right.
designing it. The other thing that we really do is we hone in on potential design upgrades. They're not picking everything out before contract, but they certainly are showing their vision of what their taste is. And we have a beautiful design center where we'll bring them through and show them, okay, here's all the standards and give them ranges of what the different upgrades could cost and give them a guided budget up front. So they know, okay, this is what, if I stay within this realm of allowances, then I'll be on budget. And then past that, they'll work with an interior designer on our team as they're going through it. So if they see a vision on Pinterest or House or whatever, and they say, I love the look at this, then our designer will be able to look at that and say, okay, well, if we go with this brand and this slightly different tone and install this tile this way, it'll save you money. So it's just leaning on the professionals through the home build to guide you to stay within budget.
That's really exciting. It sounds like you guys have a really all put together one-stop shop. You take care of like it's very high level, right? It's very concierge type service where yeah, you've attracted, you attract the upper level and then you give them that service. So people don't really have to take care of themselves at all, which is, it's
Yes, we try.
wonderful to see somebody come back and actually provide that. And I think that's what so many people expect. and then they get wrapped up into a builder and they get wrapped up into, design process, and it's just compartmentalized. It's not cohesive. And so it sounds like you guys have really done the homework and put together everything. It sounds like a beautiful package. So
When it comes to building, it's not simple, right? You have humans involved, you have different trades, you have the roofer, the drywaller, the framer, the trim
yep.
carpenter, you have a person's taste, and then you have the emotions that go involved with building a home that you want to be perfect for yourself or your family or your friends that come to visit. So there's all these emotions and all these people that are working together. So the is to guide them with a thorough process and just try to make a complicated process as easy as possible.
And I'm sure sometimes you still get some of the meltdowns and the finish doesn't come
Absolutely.
in
And
right.
we wear the multiple hats from designer to psychologist and anything in between.
Right? Let's see what else we've got. Where do you see the luxury home building industry heading in the next few years?
That's a good question. I feel that there's still going to be a demand for some hyper customization. I think that as people continue to see more ideas, more things are going to pop up, and more vendors and subcontractors are going to have to be aware is that they're going to have to be more knowledgeable of different offerings and from different markets. As we see all these transient buyers where something might be common in one market that might not be common in Ohio, for instance,
Right.
we need to be constantly aware what could be coming to our market and stay ahead of it. So I still see that demand from buyers will continue. I feel like more luxury home builders will do what I had said that we do with the design build integration. Instead of either hiring an architectural firm, I think most luxury builders that want to scale to a certain level will bring in their own design team so that they can make a one-stop shop and kind of keep it all under house for budgeting purposes. And it offers speed without sacrificing the uniqueness of a custom build. So I think that's important too.
That's
And lastly,
awesome.
I would say I really see the luxury home building industry and really many of our industries tech integrations with AI.
Hmm.
You're going to see more AI homes powered the full home management system. So not just where people are used to smart thermostats and speakers in the ceiling, all this Bluetooth options. Really, it's going to be a fully connected ecosystem with lighting, HVAC, security, wellness, everything kind of rolled up in one with AI kind of helping you operate your home.
Yeah, I was actually just about to ask you if how technology and has changed kind of that landscape as well. And now we're even getting smart cars and cars that are electric, and so it's really I'm sure you're having to put in charging stations inside homes and integrated with alarm systems so that doors open, passcodes already manually or automatically open, so you don't have to do manual anymore.
You're exactly right. Yep.
So it's interesting because I just had where my Wi-Fi went down for it was down for 3 days, and I like almost forgot how to do things because I'm like, wait, everything is connected. My garage door was connected. Like the car automatically, when I back out of the garage, the car automatically closes the garage, but the Wi-Fi was down. I'm like, why is the garage not closing? I'm like, oh,
I know we're all in this like hyper speed world right now where everything needs to be quick and
right.
at our
It's it.
fingertips,
Yeah.
and it's everything we do. We can't live without our phone anymore, and it's just the whole world's changing.
Absolutely. It's so interesting. So, well, I believe that we've come to all of the questions that I had for Rachel. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add that we didn't touch upon, but I felt like everything kind of flowed, went into to cover all the different topics that I had on our schedule. So,
Yeah, no, I think it was wonderful. I so again appreciate you thinking of me for this episode, and always here if you need any additional advice or follow-up meetings, I'm here to help.
yeah, absolutely. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope Rachel's insights gave you a fresh perspective on the housing market and real cost of waiting. You certainly don't want to continue that path. So, flip the script in your brain and understand that jumping in now. Three Pillar is an amazing business. They've got it all under house. So don't hesitate to reach out to Rachel and the team at Three Pillar Homes. They're truly experts who care about what you're looking to create and bring your dreams to life. So if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave a quick review. So I've got some incredible guests and topics coming your way. Stay tuned. And until next time, go make some bold moves and build something great.